The world's longest running prank show is back. Just for laughs, gags.
The Upper Peninsula's new CBS station, WZMQ 19.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we're speaking with Michigan Republican representatives from our state who are laying out their plans and how if they're able to regain control of the upcoming election. They call it their mission for Michigan. Plus, with another debate between the presidential candidates very unlikely, we hear from a political expert on how they can continue to try and swing voters. And according to a new report, scams are overall in decline in the country, but one is still gaining traction. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
Air, you've been coming through with all the nice weather lately. How are we looking currently?
Well, beautifully over here on Lake Michigan. Gosh, I wish I could take credit for the current weather conditions that we've got, especially with these warm temperatures. We've got around 71 degrees, clear skies down there in Manistee. No precipitation on the radar. And then taking a look at temps around the UP, we've got some 60-degree spots there. But overall, it is a wonderful evening, another open your nights evening, and chances of seeing that aurora borealis. I'll go over that, plus the lows, after the break.
All right, thanks very much, Air. And Michigan House Republicans are announcing a statewide tour to promote their Mission for Michigan. A group of representatives met today to discuss the policies they'd like to enact if they take over next year. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more from the lawmakers on the top issues they hope to address.
This November, the majority in Michigan's House of Representatives will be up for grabs. Republicans are preparing plans in case they take control of the 2 seats they'll need to become the majority party.
The Michigan Democrats, they've showed us their plan. They've showed us their agenda for the state of Michigan. And it's not good.
The Michigan House Republican Campaign Committee has rolled out its Mission for Michigan, a 10-point plan House Republicans are calling their commitment to a brighter future.
It is our positive vision for what will happen and what can be here in Michigan.
The mission outlines plans to improve public schools by reinstating funding that was cut from the school safety and mental health budget this year, to lower utility costs for families by getting rid of green energy mandates that limit the use of natural gas, and address the fentanyl crisis with an increase in funding for local law enforcement.
We've formed this agenda, we've formed this mission for Michigan by listening.
The representatives say they've worked with members of their caucus from across both peninsulas to hear top concerns from constituents.
This is a path forward for all of Michigan. This is so we are ready to start day one, January 1st, to work together to put Michigan and move Michigan forward.
The representatives say if they take the majority in the House this fall, they intend to work across the aisle to pass these policies that they believe will help families thrive. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
House Republicans are making plans to visit counties across the state to talk to voters about their plan, which they have posted online at missionformichigan.com. We have all that information on our website and our mobile news app. Former President Donald Trump announced on social media there will not be another debate, so voters might only have to rely on Tuesday night's debate between Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris as the only one between the pair. So how can the candidates win over voters without additional debates? Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp reports.
More than 67 million people tuned into the debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Political scientists say the debate is a good opportunity for both candidates to energize their base and win over undecided voters. But analysts say the big takeaway from the debate was Harris getting under Trump's skin.
And it really rattled him. He was really off message and he wasn't able to really explain his policy details because he just wanted to, get back into the fight and respond to her attacks. I think the debate was a bit lighter on substance than I would have liked. We got some at the end. We heard Donald Trump talk a little bit about tax cuts and tariffs, and even though he still doesn't seem to understand who pays the tariffs, and we heard a little bit about from Kamala Harris what this opportunity economy is. She talked about homeowners help. She talked about small businesses, and she talked a little bit about helping seniors, but she didn't explain how.
But there's still a lot of time left before the election for both candidates to win over voters.
The road to the White House goes through Pennsylvania. There's no question about it. Whoever gets Pennsylvania is probably going to be the winner. And so going out and getting those independent voters in Pennsylvania and activating the base, making sure that these candidates are not losing any of the support they have. For Kamala Harris, this means making sure she talks to voters of color as well as young voters. And for Donald Trump, this means maybe perhaps getting more people into his coalition than he's had before. He hasn't expanded it much. The only outreach he's really done is to veterans. He needs to go out there and do more of that.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
A recent report shows overall scam complaints are falling, but one type of scam is on the rise. Christine Lazar explains.
Earlier this year, Susan Tompour received a text that sounded appealing. The person claimed to be a recruiter from a major employment site and was ready to offer her a work-from-home position that paid up to $1,000 a day.
When you get a text, somebody offering you a job, you feel like, oh, somebody likes you, somebody likes your work, they've noticed your talent.
However, Susan is a journalist at the Detroit Free Press and knew instantly the job offer was a scam. One major giveaway, the sender wanted to talk on the encrypted messaging platform, WhatsApp.
Everyday recruiters are not going to talk to you by an app. They aren't using messaging apps, where they can do some hiding. They're not going on Telegram or WhatsApp or Google Chat.
One of our biggest concerns is job scams.
Eva Velasquez is the CEO of the Identity Theft Resource Center and says reports of job scams to their organization have jumped 118% in 2023. And con artists are not only sending texts, they also post fake jobs on legitimate employment sites.
AI is a contributing factor because it's allowed the bad actors to refine their pitch to make it sound so much more legitimate.
The con often happens when a victim is told to fill out an application.
When applications are asking for things like your social security number, your bank account information, your passport or driver's license information, that's a huge red flag.
I know that the scammers, these are elaborate crime networks.
And to avoid those criminals, Susan followed the advice many experts recommend. Think twice before accepting an offer, especially if it sounds too good to be true.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after the break. Plus, later, Mike Ludlam has your look at sports. NMU's men's soccer team tries to keep the wins going as they take on a top 25.
A new season of Survivor returns to CBS Wednesday.
Survivor's my mom's and I think same thing.
Take a look around. This is your community. Here we go. Survivor's ready. Go! That's how you do it on Survivor, right there!
A new season of Survivor starts Wednesday, 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
25 years of fun, and you're invited. It's the silver anniversary of the Downtown Marquette Farmers Market. Come celebrate with us every Saturday morning at the Marquette Commons. From 9 to 1, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, produce, art, and so much more. Plus, the Wednesday night farmers market on the 100 block of West Washington Street is back from 5 to 8. For more information, visit mqtfarmersmarket.com. The Farmers Market is presented by the Marquette TDA and sponsored by Flagstar Bank and WZMQ 19.
Another thrilling week to play football. The NFL on CBS. Catch all of the action this week on WZMQ 19. At 1, the San Francisco 49ers take on the Minnesota Vikings. Then at 4:25, the Bengals travel to Kansas City to take on the Super Bowl champs. See you this Sunday for the NFL on WZMQ 19.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
The Shunk's factory authorized custom order sale. With delivery times getting back to normal, it's a great time to have it your way, get a sale price, and get 12 months to pay. Choose from hundreds of sofas, love seats, chairs, and sectionals. All the latest styles are here. Over 3,000 fabrics and leathers to pick from. Sectionals, 50 different styles to choose from, and hundreds of configurations to fit your room. It's Shunk's factory authorized custom order sale. Shop Shunk Furniture at Marquette today.
Now, award-winning WZMQ 19 first warning weather with Air Stasic.
A gorgeous sunset shot courtesy of Ken Baynard last night. Hopefully he can get out and get some of that aurora this evening. As we take a look at what we're expecting with temperatures at the moment, we're in that 70-degree range. Those winds are still coming out of the south for the most part, or I should say primarily the east, southeast. They're a little bit variable, but light conditions. Now, if you're headed over to the back-to-school themed second Thursday monthly activities with the UP Children's Museum, you've got really great conditions for that. That humidity or muggy moments, that should be over in that 6 o'clock hour here. That sunset, though, is going to be around 8:06, so plan accordingly. Right now, no raindrops or snowflakes for that matter on the radar, and we're looking at fairly clear skies overall for the most part here in the evening. We could see some more clouds gathered over Houghton. I don't know. And then we've got chances of fog with this aurora borealis that is expected to be a good viewing night tonight. Check it out, that view line here touching the bottom of the mitten there. And as you can see, that green bar is pretty much covering the entire UP for this evening's forecast. Tomorrow it'll be mostly in the Upper Peninsula, but another chance tomorrow evening as well. Now that fog, we're going to focus on Manistee right now, as we'll see possibly some close to denser fog, reduced visibility, especially around that 4 o'clock in the morning hour there on Friday, and then eventually clear skies by around 10 a.m. Most of us in that same time frame of about 4 to 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday, we could have some patchy fog, especially the central locations. Just a reminder, use those low beams or fog lights if you've got any of those options, and go slow so you've got more time to react, especially giving some extra space to just in case someone in front of you stops short. All right, so we've got hot conditions tomorrow as well. We're pretty much going to be in that kind of range for the next couple of days, even into next week. For Marquette, we'll see a high on Friday around 78 degrees, a little bit warmer along that Wisconsin border, seeing around 84, and then Lake Michigan a little bit cooler in the in the upper 70s, not that much cooler. So there could be some sprinkles over the Great Lakes as we get into our Friday morning. Shouldn't touch ground, but if they do, it's not going to impact your commutes or yard work activities. Saturday, we're looking at partly sunny skies. We've got a lot more cloud coverage, and then possibly some precipitation Saturday night into our Sunday morning, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. Fall does not begin this Sunday. It's next Sunday, okay? So the 22nd at around 8:44, that's when you can really celebrate and look forward to these fall colors. Right now, we're looking pretty green, no color changes, but I'll keep you updated on that as well. Your 7-day, that's in 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, Air. And tonight on Insights, we're joined by a representative from the Department of Natural Resources to talk about their new 10-year state forest management plan and how it's meant to maintain stability for our Michigan ecosystem. That conversation is coming up right after the break.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
Welcome to Car Breakdowns 101. I'm your Professor Ice-T. If your car is out of warranty, a car breakdown could eat you alive. Look at that car. The transmission alone could cost you $3,000. And that engine? How much do you love your kidneys? Don't even get me started on the computer system. That's a small fortune. Do what I did and call CarShield. They get expensive car repairs taken care of so you don't have to. Class dismissed.
Call 800-859-0084.
Did I tell you I saw Carl Bodak on the street the other day? Whatever happened to him?
Oh, he went off the deep end in conspiracy theories.
He said vaccines were like Nazi experiments. He pushed people to take horse dewormer. And did you hear him attacking Ed McBroom?
Yeah, saying our elections were stolen.
He even thinks climate change is a hoax.
After the winters we've been having, such a shame. It's sad to see a nice man go bad.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources is discussing its 10-year state forest management plan with communities across Michigan. The plan aims to create a strategy for forest and wildlife sustainability. And joining us tonight from the DNR is Dan Heckman. Dan, thanks so much for hanging out with us today.
You're welcome.
All right, and I understand you just finished up a meeting talking about this plan. Can you tell us a little bit about what you guys were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. The state forest management plan is being released right now. It's a 10-year plan that we just revised, and it's been quite an effort from a lot of different folks from different disciplines within the DNR to accomplish that, and we're excited to share it with the public.
Sure. So are there any key differences you can tell us from maybe the previous plan compared to this one?
Yeah, there's a couple of key things that are different. First and foremost, we using some pretty sophisticated modeling work to help us ensure that long-term harvest sustainability is it's very important to us and it's very relevant in the plan. So that model helps bring a little bit of confidence that what we're going to do in this 10 years is going to be setting us up for success down the road.
Sure, absolutely. So talking about harvest, and are you talking about animals, I assume, then, or
the harvest regulations? No, the harvest that I'm referring to is timber harvest. So it's
Gotcha.
A lot of what we do in the forest, on the state forest, is concerning wildlife habitat and then forest and timber products. And so the harvest sustainability comes from that harvest of timber products, making sure there's a long-term sustainable supply of both habitat and wood products. Yeah.
Sure, and yeah, we were just we're talking about state forest management. I hear the word harvest, and I'm talking to the DNR, so I want to
That's
know.
where you go, right? That's
exactly.
all right. Yeah, yeah.
But let's talk about, Michigan is its own special place. So how do you think Michigan's plan to make sure our forests are sustainable differs maybe from other states?
Yeah, there's the different states have some different priorities and different objectives, and certainly some different pressures put on them. In Michigan, we have one of the largest state forests in the entire country at about 4 million acres. And as a public land base, it's really important to have all of those different values represented, whether it's wanting to see more old growth on the forest or wanting to see habitat for one species versus another. Michigan's well suited to have a lot of that all happen, but some of it just can't happen all in the same place at the same time. The Great Lakes in general has a lot of different forest cover types, which provides a lot of different timber products and then a lot of really good wildlife habitat, which is a lot different from if you were to go out west, where it's just 3 or 4 different tree species, 3 or 4 different cover types. Right. I think we have 26 different forested cover types just in our plan, and then a whole slew of non-forested areas, the openings and things like that are really important too.
All right. Yeah. Can you talk a little more about, the diversity, of the trees that we have here in Michigan and the wildlife that they support?
Sure. Yeah. The most prominent cover type on the state forest is aspen, and there's 2 species of aspen that grow in that cover type. And the cover type just means that we lump those together based on the tree species that exist. There's quaking aspen and big-toothed aspen. And the cover type, there's about 840,000 acres of that alone on that state forest. It's really important for species like ruffed grouse, American woodcock, along with deer. It provides great habitat for browse when those stands are young. And then you can, on the other end of the spectrum, you can talk about things like northern hardwood, where there's some mature forest species that really thrive. There's lots of neotropical migrants, like different species of warblers and things like that depend on that. There's a whole slew of different mammals and birds and everything smaller and larger than that use those different cover types.
For sure. With this plan, how are you making the public aware of what the plans are?
Yeah, so we've done 3 public meetings. We kicked off our release with a webinar online, and there's a recording of that webinar on our website. I can provide you with that link. And then we did a meeting at the Rose Lake Shooting Center on Monday. And then we went to Grayling at the Kirtland Community College and did one on Tuesday. And then today in Marquette here. So it's been very well attended across the board, and we're hoping to extend, hoping to have some good input that comes in over the next 30 to 60 days. So we're looking at hopefully extending that time period for that deadline based on some early input that we got. So we'll be posting a press release out soon with the closing of that review period, but we encourage folks to send us an email at forestplancomments@michigan.gov. I can provide you that too.
Appreciate it. Dan, thanks so much for coming in today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And Mike has your look at sports after the break. Northern Michigan University is rededicating their Vanderbilt Arena to serve as home court for Wildcats volleyball and basketball. But first, here's your Upers United volunteer opportunity of the day. The Big Bay Fall Festival is coming up on September 21st. The Big Bay Stewardship Council is looking for volunteers that can help monitor the bounce houses that will be put up. There are 2 shifts, one from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. and another from 1:30 p.m. to 4. Sign up to be a volunteer or check out other opportunities. Just head to upersunited.com. We're back in 2 minutes.
I'm Madeline Matlock. I'm a lawyer just like the TV show. Butterscotch? She's a freaking genius.
You have a plan to get him to talk to you?
We sure do.
Do we have a plan?
Not yet. Now that's something I can work with.
Matlock. Special sneak peek premiere September 22nd on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
It's Boots and Knives Month at Richardson Jewelers, downtown Marquette. With the purchase of an engagement ring, you'll get your choice of a Rapid River hunting knife or a certificate to go towards a pair of Red Wing boots.
Richardson Jewelers.
She's fair.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS.
On the next edition of Comics Unleashed with your host, Byron Allen. As 5 of the most hilarious comics take it to the edge every night, and nothing is off limits.
That's what I learned in any relationship. Communication is the most important thing. Yeah. The more you can avoid it, the better you'll do. Just avoid it altogether.
Comics Unleashed.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS.
Good evening, everyone. Northern Michigan University has rededicated Vanderbilt Arena today with a ribbon-cutting ceremony ushering in a new era for their athletic facilities. It will now serve as the home court for Wildcat volleyball and basketball. The venue has a larger court area and seats 1,400. Other upgrades include lighting, digital big screen scoreboards, visual displays of the 3 programs. Previously, the basketball teams played their games in the Barry Event Center, sharing it with the Wildcat hockey team.
We've enhanced almost 4 teams, with one move. And so it's fresh, it's bright, it's helping in recruiting already. I think they believe we care, and I think this shows that we do care.
The hope is the arena will save money in the long run without the need to switch from wooden floors to ice sheets for hockey. And the volleyball team christened the arena today with a match against Findlay. Nice crowd on hand for a Thursday afternoon contest. In the first set for NMU, Liesl Hagen, Allie Barrels the setter, Jacqueline Smith the senior with the soft kill. Bad news though, NMU trails 4-1. Next for the Wildcats, Remy Madison, Barrow to Calumet's Helen Byring, who bounces that one cross court. For the put away, Findlay still led 6-3. Again, for the green and gold, Smith, Barrow, Back to Smith for the kill, but the Oilers stayed in front 11-7. And Findlay remained in the lead in due part to Kenzie Holscher. She'll get the kill here. Oilers won the first set 25-18, the second 25-23, so they are in the third set with Findlay leading 2-0. Meanwhile, not too far away, the NMU men's soccer team and head coach Alex Fadovic are looking for their third straight win at home, the home opener against 25th ranked Lewis. First half, Tommaso Lamy, the Wildcats captain, with a nice cross, but Tuan van Gensewinkel not able to make full contact. Shot is stopped. 40th minute, Lamy right there. Whoop! Ooh, Wildcat captain tripped up nastily by Nicholas Rogalski. That earned number 12 a yellow card for rough play. Couple minutes left in the half. Lewis's Godwin Asori with the cross. And that one should have gone in the net. I don't know how that didn't happen, but it was 0-0 at the break. Second half, here comes Lamy again, looking for the far corner, but no. Sebastian Doppelhofer makes the save. The Flyers would get on the board in the 50th minute as Max Widland would give a little bit of a give and go with Carson Sosnaika, and that gave Lewis a 1-0 lead right there. NMU did score 2 goals. This one ends in a draw, tied at 2. Turning to the Central Collegiate Hockey Association, the preseason polls have been announced on the coaches' side. St. Thomas is first by 4 points over Bemidji State and Michigan Tech. Minnesota State fourth, Bowling Green fifth. After that, it is Lake Superior State, Augustana, Ferris State, and the coaches are worried about Northern in last place by a couple points. On the media side, Bemidji State is first, in a tie, I should say, with St. Thomas. Minnesota State third, Michigan Tech fourth, followed by the Falcons. Then it's the Lakers, Augustana, NMU, and Ferris State. The Detroit Lions see their second straight NFC playoff opponent this weekend. Dan Campbell's club travels to Tampa Bay. The Lions defeated the Buccaneers 31-23 in a divisional playoff contest last January. Detroit quarterback Jared Goff says he knows Tampa Bay's head coach Todd Bowles will have something up his sleeve.
We were able to play pretty well the last 2 times, but I've played him a handful of times in my career, and he's gotten me too. So he's a great coach. They'll have some good blitzes dialed up. I'm sure they will. They're a pressure team, and we'll be ready to handle them. They've got a ton of them. They really do, and they'll probably have one for us next week that they haven't shown on film, and we'll react accordingly.
Kickoff is set for 1 o'clock Eastern Time, noon Central. Green Bay hosts Indianapolis, also with a 1 p.m. Eastern Time start. And sad news from the Detroit Lions. Pro Football Hall of Fame linebacker Joe Schmidt has died at the age of 92. Linebacker for 13 years, head coach for 6 years, 10 consecutive Pro Bowls. And we will be right back.
The state of America.
Wow.
One state at a time.
Has the meaning of home changed for you?
I believe in our country, and I want to serve it.
Eye on America, weeknights on the CBS Evening News.
I'm Alyssa Slotkin, and I'm running to be your next U.S. Senator. My life in public service started on 9/11. I joined the CIA and served 3 tours in Iraq alongside our military. I came back to work in the White House for 2 presidents, 1 Democrat, 1 Republican, serving whoever was my commander-in-chief. For me, service is not about partisanship. It's about doing what's right to protect our country. I approve this message because I refuse to let politics split us apart. When we work together, there's no problem we can't solve.
Pictionary. Play along from home.
Paddle of nunchucks.
No! With a chance to win.
This is unfair. No one knew that Colton was prolific in nunchucks.
5 days a week.
Weekdays at 9 on WZMQ CBS.
We are united, everybody's invited. We are united, everybody. Come on, come on.
The United Way of Marquette County kicking off its 80th year. United Way volunteers support our community, and you can help the United Way assist 26 local programs, funding nonprofit organizations focused on safety, unity, and endowment. Donate today by visiting uwmqt.org. A public service message from the United Way and WZMQ 19.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Make cleanups quick and easy with big savings on Livman products. Great on many surfaces, the Wonder Mop is tough on stubborn dirt and messes and is just $7.99 after rebate. Brighten up your spaces with an 11% rebate on all GT light bulbs. This light bulb is 7 times brighter than a standard bulb and features adjustable light panels. Get this 3-panel bulb for just $7.99 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
That sunshine is still out there. It's going to stick with us into the weekend for the most part. We've got lows dropping down into the 50s. Another gorgeous evening. Chances of that aurora tomorrow. Now tomorrow morning, make sure your student is very visible because we've got some patchy fog possible across the UP. Temperatures around 56 for that average in the morning around 7 a.m. Warming up to 81 degrees and mostly sunny skies for the afternoon. And then we've got some warmer temperatures on the way this weekend as well.
Thanks, Aaron. Finally tonight, John Bon Jovi is being credited as a hero after helping a woman in distress. He was in the middle of a photo shoot on the Siegenthaler pedestrian bridge overlooking the Cumberland River last night. That's when he appeared to notice the woman standing on the ledge and walked over towards her. He begins to speak with her, then helps lift her to safety, keeping his arm wrapped around her in the minutes that pass after to make sure she is okay. In the end, Bon Jovi walks the woman to safety and off the bridge. And that's all we have for tonight, but we'll see you later.